So in this video here, we're going to get an overview over the Ultralytics HUB SDK. So we're going to see how you can control the hub and everything with your model, dataset, projects, and so on directly from Python instead of in the interface where we have the Ultralytics HUB. We already have tons of videos covering the whole Ultralytics HUB, so definitely check those out. In this video here, we're going to see how we can use the HUB SDK in Python, set up your models, get your API, connect to the HUB SDK, how you can set up datasets, projects, and so on. So let's just jump straight into the documentation. We have the Ultralytics HUB SDK. If you go inside the Hub tab up at the top, we have all the different resources for the Hub, the app for the mobile app, and also the Python SDK at the bottom. So right now we can just go down to the quick start. You can read about the prerequisites, how you can install it, and so on. We basically just need to pip install hub-sdk and we're good to go. Then inside of our code, we can initialize the Hub client either by using an API key or your email and password. If you just go inside the Ultralytics Hub, this is basically the hub that we have tons of videos about. But we have our datasets, projects, models, and also integrations where you can upload your own dataset. You can create new projects and datasets. You can train your models directly in here. But now we also have the SDK that you can use with Python to control all of this as well. So if you just go back again to the documentation, you can sign up here. I'm going to show you how we can connect to it and also how we can pull a model. We also have the model tab where you can go in and see how we can create a model, export a model, and so on. So first of all, we need to set up the client and then we can pull a model from an ID. So this is the ID from the Ultralytics Hub. Could be that you're training a model inside the hub as well, from the user interface that you then want to pull and get into Python directly from the hub, and you don't want to export the weights and so on. You can access the projects and also datasets directly. So this is how you would do it. Everything has an ID, a unique ID, then use in the SDK. We can also create new models, new datasets, and so on with custom configurations, directly connect to it in Python if you're working with your projects in Python and you just want to use Python instead of the hub user interface. So this is how you can do it. First of all, we need our client again. We set up our data with our metadata, so the name of the SDK model, project ID, dataset ID, and our configuration for a batch size, device, epochs, and so on. So this is basically just the parameters for when we're training our model. Then we just set up our model with our client and we call create model on our data. And then it's going to create the model. You'll be able to see it inside the Ultralytics Hub as well. We can update an existing model, delete a model, list all the models that you have available and also trained over time. We can upload and visualize training metrics and so on as well. So that is also a very cool feature. Export your model, so all the functionality from both Ultralytics and also the Ultralytics Hub, it is available in here. You can call export directly. You can specify the format. So if you just want to get the PT file, so the PyTorch file, then you can use that to do inference and in your own applications and projects. You can also retrieve a direct weight URL, upload a model checkpoint and so on if you're training it in your custom code and you want to upload it into Ultralytics Hub. So we have the model, pretty cool. We have the datasets and so on, so how we can create a dataset, update dataset, delete datasets, and so on. So all of this functionality is pretty much the same, but both for the model, dataset, and also a new project. So you can create projects, update existing projects, and so on. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's now go in and take a look at how we can connect to the hub and create a model. So here I've just opened up a Google Colab notebook, pasted in this command. We're going to run it so we can install the SDK. Now while it's installing here, let's go in and grab the other code that we need. So right now let's go back to the documentation. Let's go in and set up a model. So this is pretty much everything that we need to do. I'm going to show you like how we can pull a model. So right now I'm just going to copy paste this code directly, and this is how easy it is, and it's just a few lines of code when using Ultralytics. So right now I'm going to paste in my API key and then we're going to find a model from the Ultralytics Hub. So say that you're training a model in here, we have videos covering all of that. So right now let's just go in and take one of them. I can just go down, we have this track, we have the segmentation model, we even have the new ULV9 model. There we go. We can go in and see all the metrics and so on. You can pull that while you're training. Let's go up and grab the model ID. There we go. And now we can just paste that directly into a Google Colab notebook and pull that model. So right now we have our API key, pasted that in. We have our model from Ultralytics Hub. Now we can just run this block of code and we then have our model and we can print our data. So this model has an attribute called data. We can see that we have no data connected. We have dataset, has weights, true, last weights, and we can also see the hub link, ID, is custom and so on. So pretty much just all the information is available and also the name. And we also have our weights here that we can directly use. So this is how you can pull a model with the Ultralytics HUB SDK from Python instead of using the UI in your own applications and projects. And when we're connected to the client, let's just go and take a look at how we can just print out and show all the projects that we have available. So I'm just going to go inside documentation again, inside our projects. Right now I'm going to grab this code. We already have the client up and running, so we can just take this part. Right now, pasting it in, and this is how easy it is to use the SDK. It's just a few commands that you need to call, and if you prefer to use the Python SDK over the hub. So here we can see we have the current results, next page results, and also previous results. These are all the models that are available. We can see the model counts, storages, ID for different models and so on, object detection, and also the models that we have. So this is how you can use the Ultralytics HUB SDK in Python to connect to all the different things in there. We have the dataset, projects, and also models. You can pull all the information, update it, delete it, and list all the things available in there. Test it out on your own if you prefer to use the SDK over the UI, and then I'll just see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy learning.